And live y'all life. You know what I'm saying? Like, just live y'all life, man. Like, I don't care how old y'all is. That, you know what I mean? I'm trying to teach teenagers how to live their life to be a kid. Yo, what's happening? What's going on? This is the Bruzery Podcast. Back with a special guest, recurring guest, fam. As it all above. My homeboy Tom, what's happening, buddy?
What's going on with you?
Ain't shit. Finally got it going. You live 10 minutes away, but yet still can't pull up to the crib. Don't get it.
Nigga, I told you I was gonna pull up
Yeah.
eventually.
Nah. It's good. So I was because I was watching some of the I be watching some of the Skypes. I mean not Skypes, some of the pods um that actually still like use the Zoom or whatever program and stuff. And I'm like, shit. I'm like, man, I can I'm like, we can do that. And then because obviously like I know you like being at the crib. I like being at the crib, and then I don't gotta bring my equipment. Or I mean, I could do it through the phone and shit, but I don't know. I bought this equipment for what reason, you know what I'm saying? But anyhow, man, what's going on with you, man? How your week popping? Or how was your week
Same,
in review or whatever?
oh, same shit, chilling, working. How that shit that hit this shit going?
Oh no, that shit peachy. It's cool. I mean, everybody it's a lot of because it's younger and older folks. I mean, not older folks, but I'm in the top tier of the oldest. But overall, it's cool. Manager dope. Um, and then the other manager that was training me, she dope. Last time I worked with her and shit. Her name Bria, but she cool. Tasha, my main manager, she just called me. She just called me with some good news or whatever. I don't know if I should display it here. I'll tell you off. I'll tell you offline because I don't know if they ever listen to shit. They'll be upset about some shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's something I
That's
told
what I
you.
was.
It's something I
Yeah,
told
that's what I was
you.
telling you, like about
You
the
know what I'm
the spicy.
saying? Yeah. So, but like, no, man, it's cool. As you know, you came in there, you know, it's easy. Well, to me, it's easy bread. You know what I'm saying? You know, it ain't rocket science, as we always say. You know what I'm saying? So it's the
No,
cool.
that shit look dope in there though, for real.
Yeah, because
That shit set up.
they bounced it out the gate, and we got we got a lot of new releases that's about to come up Jordan wise, like like the retros. I know the 12s, that's the red and white ones. The fours, I think. And then the gratitudes, the gratitudes, the gratitudes is the black and white. They the 11s, they the pat leathers, but they like a different.
Hmm.
They like a different, but it's I don't know. It's like different version, but like that shoe shit, man. I'm like, yo, and I'm glad you brought it up because I want to talk about shoe resellers, man. Like these shoe resellers, dog, they are savages, man. Like when they get a
What
sniff
you
of
talking about, like price wise
not,
or some
I mean, price wise
exclusive
always,
shit?
but I'm talking about when they trying to come get the shoes, like say if a new release drops, say for instance like the Barclays, whatever. When the Barclays came out, them all black ones that I showed you, so they
Yeah.
came out, so like they trying to buy multiple pairs, you know what I'm saying? And so they go like in different like to a fullest extent, like they bring somebody and act like they not nobody, somebody or whatever and shit. And then or either that or they just try to make plays and try to like it's just I mean, I don't know, it was just weird just seeing it like in full spec like the full spectrum of it. And then so when they first told me, when my manager first told me, she like, oh yeah, that's just say such and such. He said, yeah, that's Bob. He a reseller. You know what I'm saying? Like so when she first showed me the vision of how one of them guys looked, and then like it just hit me because when I watch the little YouTube videos about sneakers and stuff like that, like then I'm like, man, I think a reseller has a fucking look. You know what I'm saying? They actually got a fucking look, dog. And because they come in and they the biggest thing I got out of them cats, them jokers, that they cocky as fuck. Like they walk in that bitch like they run this bitch like they just motherfucking old buddy who created Nike and shit, or order of Nike and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they walking around like, oh man, I ain't tripping. I ain't tripping. They always want to bring a wall of money out. No, all that sucker corny shit, man. Like, and my fault to whoever y'all resell to, but I don't know. Some of y'all teammates, y'all what? But like no, I never been I never liked that shit. You know me, I buy my sneakers. I try to get my sneakers under the retail, let alone trying to flip it to a 300% profit or however it be. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't that in my life of shoe getting. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't that. And you know, cats be trying to talk that shit about, you know, like what's the true definition of sneakerhead and all that shit, man. Like, and that shit misconstrued. I feel. You know what I'm saying? What you think?
Yeah, I ain't never really dibble and dabbled in that shit. I just get the shit that I personally couldn't afford growing up, and the bitches drop when I'm grown and I want them. I get them. Like I don't go for every single one that drop. Like that shit just that's some shit that you need to do if you doing reselling. Like I get the ones that I like, and that's that. Like I ain't about to get involved in that. That shit sound like too much of a job and a headache. That
Yeah.
shit.
I guess, I mean, I don't know, like looking online. I mean, or all right, I guess let me say like this. Let me position it like this. All right, so when I say reselling, like, all right, if you happen to find a sneaker that's on sale, then I guess you could flip it for a little bit of profit that way. But I'm talking about like the people that try to, like, because they didn't crack down on the bots and all that shit, because they used to have like bots and shit, like when they had these raffles and all that stuff. So that was like
Hmm.
ways they was trying to so it'd be like a fair way of getting sneakers or whatever, but or like one per person or whatever like that. So I mean, I guess you can go to multiple stores if you happen to do it, or has people grab it. So it's still ways to do it, and I hate to say it because it seems like I'm hating this shit, but I always say like I hate to hate the hustle to it seem like I'm hating that hustle because I know it's a hustle and it's an avenue for money to be made, but at the same time, I just be like, man, I just never. I think that's what messes up the individual that actually. I think I called it a true sneakerhead that actually like the sneaker and wants to get it for, like you said, like to have like a sentimental value. You know what I'm saying? Like you just spoke upon getting sneakers, the ones that you had as a kid, or your favorite ones growing up as when we was kids, whatever. And I'm the same way. Like for instance, those Barclays, whatever. I would get those because I remember having them as a kid. I believe I was in, I remember as a kid. I remember my sister bought them, the original ones, the original colorway, and then
Hmm.
just different sneakers that I'd be like, yeah, oh, you know what I'm saying, that bring me back those childhood vibes or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that shit. Yeah, and like I said, most of the time it was me, nigga, seeing the niggas come to school having them bitches on who parents could afford them, or nigga they was in the dope boy family, nigga the dope boy cousin, dope boy uncle then got them for them, and I couldn't get them bitches.
Right.
So like when the it's crazy because I just had a feed come through, nigga. I guess they dropping some diamond turfs this summer, them
Or
Dion's.
Dion's, yeah,
And yeah, and I remember having them bitches, and I looked at them bitches because all I really ever got was Jordans. I was like, no, I get them bitches because I had them, and them bitches, it's just it's nostalgia. It just bring back childhood nostalgia. I ain't standing in a nigga way or a nigga lane if they get money doing that shit.
right.
You can you can look forward to not getting none of my money, nigga, for sure. I promise you that,
Yeah,
nigga.
that's
Fool.
it. Like I never, like I even like with goat and stuff like that, cause those sneakers, I mean, it be some like that's like exclusives or whatever, but even like some of the sneakers that turn expensive, that be like 1,000 or whatever.
Hello.
I don't know because like or because an artist wear them,
Watching
or
TV.
because those sneakers actually be the retail price when they originally come out, and then it'll just jump like within a month, or no, I mean instantaneously if it's a small quantity of the
He
release.
ate the spaghetti. I said he
But
broke history.
other than that, I don't know, man. It's like I said, yeah, I ain't trying to mess up. I mean, I'm not trying to hate on the hustle of it. I guess I like the actual sneaker aspect of it, like my sneakers. You know what I'm saying? Like I have a variety of it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just one
Yeah.
lane or whatever. And I got sneakers that's like $30 or whatever. And even like on my IG or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Um Bruiser NT or Bruisery Podcast, Bruise made it. I have like I display shoes. I even do content on the podcast. I display shoes. I'd be like sneakers under 100, and then you know what I'm saying. I put the either I had a link or I be like if you're watching a video, I show where it's at, whether it's Nike.com, and then I explain how I got it to that number. So if I got some
Yeah,
Air Jordan ones or whatever and shit, I'd be like, well, got these at Nike. They was on sale already 20% off. And then I'm like, hey, if you military, you know somebody military, boom, they go another 15% for you. Or, you know what I'm saying? This shit like that. So I guess I'm doing the opposite because for one, I'm not trying to make no bread. And then for two,
right.
I be trying to save, you know what I'm saying? Save somebody $1, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think too also like when you try to embody everything as a whole and say like what is the definition of a sneakerhead, I feel like that shit ain't based off of the retros or a certain type of sneaker. I think it's just the love for sneakers and for the culture. Like what the that shit was like that shit is a culture within itself, like sneakers and shit. Like that shit is a real life thing. Like nigga, all the way back from shell toe Adidas, nigga, the
Right.
Run DMCs, and then getting into the Chucks and the Converses with the West Coast niggas, like the New York niggas with the Timberland boots. Like it's a whole different swag. Like
Right.
the
And
sneakerhead shit
the
is a
bricks.
culture. Like
Yeah, yeah, like the bricks, like you said, like the bricks or whatever and stuff like that. Cause and even in high school, like when they started retroing the ponies and shit, like like ponies or whatever like that. I got
is he back?
I got a pair of ponies. You know what I'm saying? Just back in when I was in high school. You know what I mean? So it was just yeah, it just like that culture. Then how I lace my sneaker to this day, how I lace my forces or whatever. Like I skip all the way to the top. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I've been doing that since
Yep.
I've been doing that. Matter of fact, I've been doing that since I went to New York. I was like in it was a Boys and Girls Club tournament, and I went to New York, and I went to Syracuse. I never been to actual like New York, but I went to Syracuse, and then like, I just saw they like you said they A swag or whatever like that, and I was like, oh shit. So to this day, like my Tims and my forces are always laced all the way up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not my bad, don't lace all the way up because I just go straight to the top. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that should be cool. Like I like it. I like the competitiveness and that shit for real. Like, and if a nigga can, I'm all about the double up and the triple ups. If a nigga could pay 200 and a nigga willing to pay six for them bitches, so like I'm all for it. Like,
I
cause
well,
that shit is
well, I guess okay. Well, I mean, I can see both sides of it. I still stand my ground on how I feel about it or whatever. But like I always keep saying, I say like I know the hustle there and there's money to be made, so I'm not knocking that. It's just that it like that hustle in this particular subject and many other subjects, but that hustle fucks up the person. You know what I'm saying? Like if it fucks up the
yeah, the true
it fucks up
motherfucker
the
who doing
true
it.
yeah that want to do it. For me, fuck the title
And
shit. I don't care about that.
yeah,
But
and when you and
yeah,
then I think like when you talk about the goats and all that shit, and they prey upon the popularity of the sneaker, and that's how the
right.
prices get so inflated and shit, and
Mhm.
that's how shit get turned and twisted out of whack. Like, cause I didn't went on Go and seen some sneakers that I got for like 200. We doing the podcast. You what? We doing the podcast right now. I'm dead ass.
Interrupted, man. Jesus Christ. You on the podcast, you still interrupt. But yeah, but GOAT.
Yo, you said what?
I said, but GOAT, you was spitting
No,
this
I
shit.
was just
You know
saying,
what
like,
I'm
I
saying?
think
Like
like the
the
goats, the
popularity of it.
sneakerhead, all that shit. Yeah, it's the pop. They preying on the popularity of the sneaker because you could see some shit drop, and they don't really get that much traction. But when it's a high like motherfucking tier of people where it's the popularity thing,
Mhm.
nigga. I told you I had some shoes that I bought for like 220. I go on Go right now. Them bitches 590.
Right.
Like literally, like, and nigga, that's before shipping and all of that shit, nigga. That shit like they 590. And they was just some Jordan nines, the Jordan 9 breads, the all black joints, patent leather, and them bitches was a popular sneaker. And I ain't never even seen them bitches growing up. I had just seen them as an adult. Them bitches
The Pat Leather one,
going.
those 11s.
No, these ones they was nines, but they
Oh,
had used
you was saying that.
that
Okay.
certain material.
Oh, I got you. Okay, okay.
Yeah, they had used that different material to put on them bitches, and it was going. But
Yeah, no, it was 90. Yeah.
uh,
I mean, at the time that was my favorite. The Pat Leather was because I had the black and white ones. That's the original. I mean, no, yeah, that's the first color. The black and white ones. Those ones come out December. Then the black and red ones always come out like either February. I think the red packs, or what they call, that's what they call it these days, or like the packs, the red packs, whatever and shit. But the reds always came out around like February-ish, and then it was always like a UNC. So it'll go to black and white or something like that, and then it'll go the UNC and the red ones. Those will come out right before spring, right around spring, right around like around this time, whatever. But yep, yeah, man. But overall, I mean, I ain't trying to sound like the most diabolical hater when it comes to that hustle, but I just thought that'd be pretty good to talk about. But yeah, speaking about money, man, because I told you the story about the IHOPs, different IHOPs I went to and all that stuff, man. But I really wanna, because since you know what I'm saying, from your work field or whatever, servers, man, like can servers in like at a just let's just say a brick and mortar type of restaurant or whatever, um, can they do they are they able to suffice just being a server, and that's just that one job? I mean, you know what I'm saying? As far as like on average that you know
What do
of,
you
think of,
What do you mean as far as suffice? Like what?
like
What's the
being one
question?
like that, like how my main job is the government, and I can suffice off of that, you know what I'm saying? Off of that.
Make a decent living off of that
Yeah.
field?
Yeah.
That field was a professional thing that shit was one of the ground foundations when most men started to go to wars and the women that had to stay home was getting jobs. It was waitressing. Hell yeah, they been doing that shit for 100 years. I know a server that I work with named Sarah had been with Applebee's for about 20 years. And she had a full section every fucking day because she built a clientele base.
Yeah.
People actually came in for her and for the food. They tipped her well. She made a great living, but she was primarily based off of hospitality. These bitches that serving and taking care of people, no, they don't give a fuck about none of that. I had to explain to my staff they dread when the first of the month comes.
Uh,
I'm talking about these bitches walk around huff and puff, mad at the world, and I had to enlighten them and say, these people that come in here on the first of the month are on a fixed income.
right.
Literally, may get out the house to go out to dine in the establishment maybe once or twice a month. And this is how you gonna treat them, and they decided to come spend their money with you hoes. They not about to tip. They out here. It's the first of the month. They don't see the bigger picture, but yeah, they can make a great living off that shit. For real. I know people who been doing it professionally for years and all, but yeah, they can definitely make a great living off that shit. But they don't. You gotta. So one of the things that I didn't know and shit was like when you get hired at Chick-fil-A, like if you ever notice, they always say like thank you and come again and we appreciate your patronage and all that kind of shit.
Right.
I didn't know that they put them through like a rigorous class where these motherfuckers got to go to like an etiquette class for hospitality for like 2 weeks before they even allow you to work in a building.
Ooh.
Just to try to build up that customer service, salesmanship and shit. Because most of the time, you just got people in those positions because all the short staffing that's going on in the world. Like they just need to be able to open the door. So you got these terrible ass people that's in these restaurants who don't know about giving a guest a great experience or any of that, who literally just want to come in. They don't even tell you where you at or thank you for coming in. What can I start you off to drink with? Like
That
what the
happened.
fuck?
Hey, that's what happened to me. I told you that when me and not the IHOP down in the steel yard, but when I took JoJo, when me and JoJo just went and got breakfast real quick, and I told her like she just ain't no hey how you doing, and she was like I don't know, she was I took it like she wasn't actually obviously she wasn't yelling at me or whatever, but just her tone, it didn't seem like a hospitality type deal, like, hey, how you doing or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You right there next to me. You right here next to me. Like, but she talking like it's a full, like we at a bar. It's the fucking the bar rail full, and you know what I'm saying, music blaring. Like, that's how loud he talking and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
hello, can I use something to drink? You know what I'm saying? Some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like just I was like, ew. But like I said, if I wasn't a Brown youngin, I probably would have stepped out. You know what I'm saying?
But we got a pretty rigorous training program that we put the staff through as far as front of the house and shit. And even with that being said, I just you can't you can't teach people something that they weren't taught at home. Like it's just things that you're not gonna be able to instill in people, especially once they get into early adulthood and shit. Most of the time they be stuck in their ways, and that's who they gonna be for the rest of their life. So
So you think most?
that shit.
I mean, I believe that, but and I'm basically saying a lot of this just because of just for content structure. But so that's why I say like a lot of I always say like work ethic or whatever and shit. Like I don't think I don't, I was just saying that. Oh, I was just saying to my supervisor or whatever because she was like she said something to the effect that she's like Joe, I like when I ask you to do something or whatever the case may be. She's like you get shit done, this and that. And I was like, why not? I mean, I never been a procrastinator. I don't like procrastinating on most things or whatever. I mean, I guess you can procrastinate in some aspects, but for the most part, if it comes to work or even if like you ask me something, if somebody asks me for something or whatever, like I'd rather get it done sooner than later. So like even if I'm able to stop what I'm doing right now, like I don't care if it's can you pick this up and take this upstairs or whatever and shit. Like if I'm not really, you know what I'm saying? Like I mean, say right now I probably ask and I wait because I'm in the middle of recording. But if I was recording by myself, I'd pause it and you know what I'm saying, go back up and then just come back to it, whatever, like I did before. But just period,
But see,
the work
but see,
ethic
that's what I'm
is
saying.
just
Those
a
are
natural
things
thing.
that, yeah, certain
And that
things
came from
that
my
was
mother.
instilled. That's what I'm saying. I was about to say that shit is instilled from you from the starting base from the home. Our parents would say, "Hey, clean your room." Then they were smart enough to come do a follow up. And I ain't talking about what they do nowadays, right? That nowadays they tell their kids to clean the room on Monday, and then they'll
Everybody
go
knows
back on Friday and say, "Did you do it?"
it.
No, it was an immediate follow. It was an
Right.
immediate follow up. Like it was immediately. Like you, and it was also an expectation with a timeline and a deadline. Like I want this motherfucking room clean on Sunday by 3 o'clock.
Well, yeah, that
That was the ex.
I would say that I would say it'd be that. Well, I don't. Well, mine's a little bit different, but that is a good thing that you have to, like you said, you got to display to these kids now because you say clean the room and then it'll go like you said, to go by the wayside and shit. And you'd be like, damn, I thought I told you. Then and like nowadays they'd be like, oh, I forgot. I got to doing something. Like, what you mean you forgot, money? Like
That's why
that's
you
you
gotta.
know what I'm saying.
I started reading a book called Winning with Accountability, and it literally demonstrated them same practices as far as and that shit. I watched it work. You have to give people clear expectations. I mean, it has to be crystal clear. You can't be like, "Hey, I want you to clean your room. I want you to pick up all that motherfucking trash off the floor, fold
Right.
the motherfucking clothes." Like, give a clear expectation with a timeline and a deadline. Because then when you do the follow up, now it's easier to coach the behaviors that ain't being done for real. If you tell a motherfucker you want the room clean completely by 3 o'clock on Sunday, 3 o'clock on Sunday, that shit should be done.
Right.
If you just say clean it and don't ever do no follow up, who knows what you gonna walk in that motherfucker and see.
Yeah, and then I try to implement maybe in the household or whatever, but like I always because I try to lead by example. Like I mean I know people ain't gonna vacuum every day, but I always like I tell JoJo, I'm like Joe, how from the time in the evening before you go to bed and then the times you wake up that your room is in disarray. You know what I'm saying? Like and that's just not just him, it's all three of us there. And I'd be like, how hard is it just to throw y'all everybody is in the 2 feet proximity from where they can put the clothes down to shoot, or if you know what I'm saying, if you're not about to put them down to shoot yet, you know, fold them up, whatever the case may be and shit. Like I'm like, man, I'm like, y'all live like people ain't got dressers around here or we ain't got closets, this and that and the third. You know what I'm saying? Like it just be small things, but then it turns into it turned into like, oh, I'm in military mode or like this not the military type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll be like, nah, and I'm like, it ain't that. And so I'm like, I don't think it's that. I'm like, it's just a cool way to or a smooth way to a easier way to not have to do as much when it comes to it.
Because it set you, if you got systems in place, it's gonna set you up for success. Like most motherfuckers, if you notice, most of the time, big mama, aunties, and them, it was Sundays when they had their downtime, and that's when they would completely go through the house, dust, wash all the clothes, reset for the week, and then little shit would accumulate over the week. But like they had systems in place.
Right.
They had a day where they would wash, and a day where literally, like I remember growing up, it was a lot more structured. I think somewhere the disconnect and then broken pieces happened with the generations where the motherfuckers got to the point where kids raising kids and motherfuckers ain't really Ain't nobody instilled in them the old customs and values, so that shit just went to the wayside. And then if you actually paying attention to the shit getting worse. Like they terrible. They don't even take tubs, nigga. The fuck?
And Tubbs, that's our, well, that's not our, but that's his term of, you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers don't take showers and stuff like that. But that's a good
It's
thing.
just the basic. It's just the basics. I don't care if you stand in it or sit in it. Take a fucking tub for real.
And I would
They
say
don't
that's,
even.
and I say that's the moral. That'd be our moral of the, or that'd be our was that something of the day. That'd be a little key quote of the day. Take a tub.
Take a
Um,
tub. Like I told you, I had the pleasure of being a manager for a restaurant for quite some time. And over the course between the last 5 years, I have never had to incorporate the hygiene conversation as much as I do today. Like literally, I have to like I used to be able to complete orientation, tell them about the origins of the restaurant and what the expectations are and the uniform standards. And I gotta start the conversation off with like, do you take tubs? Do you unfortunately, we work in a restaurant industry where hygiene is a very important thing, not only for the food safety aspect of it, but for the guest experience. Like, you know how many times I didn't made a server go home or wipe down her uniform? What you come in here all dirty, your fingernail? Who
yeah.
want to eat in an establishment? When people walk into a restaurant, it's perception. It's a perception based thing. So if you pull in a restaurant, the landscaping look cool. They actually got lights. There ain't no broken bricks and rocks all when you walk up. You start to feel comfortable about the environment. You go there, you eat, you come, the tables are clean. You see people um actually like vacuuming in the floors when shit get on it or whatever. Or you walk into a place and it's broken bottles all in the motherfucking parking lot,
Right.
cigarette butts. You gonna be looking at shit like what the fuck? Like, so that shit, I don't know where the term came, me personally. And I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I blame social media.
Well, we cut right here, and then that we go to the next segment and shit. So I know you got to roll, and I got to roll, and drop off Love Mama and stuff. So,
Oh
um,
no, for sure.
with that being said, let me ask you real quick, what you got on the menu?
I ain't even decide yet. I ain't
Okay.
even decide yet.
Well, well, today is well, for me, I got frog legs baked, and then it's turkey
I'm
wings
about to say word on the
and
streets
all
that
that shit.
bitches taste like chicken wings. Is that real? Because I ain't never had one and I don't got the desire to.
It's good. I bring something over. I'm about to come that way. I bring
Hey,
some.
I'm cool. Don't waste your food.
A
I'm not eating that shit.
little niblet, a little taste test.
Look,
I
I'm
bring something.
cool. I'm about to be 39 in about 8 days. I ain't had them bitches then. I don't need them bitches now.
Word, word.
I'm gonna be cool.
All right, well, shit. I'm about to yeah, I'm about to get her
Oh
ready.
yeah, for sure.
Matter of fact, shit, I'll pull up over there before to drop her off. She always want to stop over there anyway. So,
Okay, for
all right,
sure. I'll see y'all in a second. Yep, yep.
all right,
Come on.
yep.
Yep.
And with that being said, this is the Bruisery Podcast. I'm back. Not gonna be zooming. I got a new guest coming in. Possibly next week, or I don't know, probably this week. I don't know, but reoccurring as well. One of the most solid one of many solid guys that I know. Go by the name of the Flexer. So oh, it feel good. I hope y'all like. I hope that everything is looking good on y'all end. And I know on the phone side it was kind of choppy on my buddy end, but um we'll get that fixed and get it tweaked. With that being said, there's much to go. If y'all want to do anything, check out my IG, Bruz Made It. That's BRUZ Made It. Then Bruisery Podcast as well. If y'all need shirts, any type of clothing or whatnot, custom. Also, what else I had? Go to the back catalog because I didn't just start. I didn't just start this. So go to the back catalog. It's a lot. It's a lot of content that's back there. Go to the back catalog, man, and share it, like it. Hey, comment on the good, bad, or indifferent. It let the algorithm know to push it out there once I put it on YouTube and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's really not a bread. It's really not a bread maker. Obviously, I'm not, you know what I'm saying, how it is. I got in the game way later. But it is something, content that's for your listening or for somebody else listening. That probably dig it. With that being said, I shall see y'all soon. It's the Bruzery Podcast. Later, haters. And live y'all life. You know what I'm saying? Like, just live y'all life, man. Like, I don't care how old y'all is. That, you know what I mean? I'm trying to teach teenagers how to live their life, to be a kid.